Una y dos. Y dos. Una y dos. Una y dos.
Hello and welcome to Cortesnyc Livestream, the podcast. This show broadcasts twice a week out of New York City. We are your hosts, Cortesnyc
and Carla de Puerto Rico.
And on the show, we talk about art, creativity, city life from a Latino perspective. I'm a visual artist.
And I'm a singer.
And this is episode 35, Pass the Mic, live at HEFS Wall in Brooklyn.
As always, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Spotify, and also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram.
And don't forget my online store for my merchandise, cortesnyc.bigcartel.com. I have posters, stickers, and pins for sale. Help support an artist. Come on. And let's get on with the show. All right, so we are here on Cooper Avenue in Ridgewood at a wall production put together by Mr. Hef. Hello, Mr. Hef.
Hello.
All right, so this is Mr. Hef. Mr. Hef, first let's start off by you telling us where people can find you on Instagram, on all the social medias, and introduce yourself.
Yes, Jamie Hef, Jamiehef on IG, Jamie Hef on Facebook, same thing.
All right, so Hef, tell us about this wall.
This is a project for this company OCS. They hit me up. They needed some presence in the neighborhood. They just moved from another location. Actually, 3 buildings, and they look separate. And they took over the entire space. They're probably only here temporarily, but long story short was they just wanted to clean it up a little bit, and I told them it won't stay clean unless we do some work on the bottom half. So we did some signage and then opened up some areas for us to do some creative work.
And who do you have on this wall?
Right now we got Spot, myself, Mastro, you. And we have Greed. Also probably coming is going to be Tech and Snow from Jersey, and then Shiro on Monday as well.
Nice, you're killing it. Your piece so far is looking crazy.
Thank you.
How do you describe your technique?
I don't know. It's a mistake that just keeps getting fixed until I decide to not fix it anymore.
What I see in your style, you have like a real like metal. It looks like very polished. You like these chrome effects, these like shiner effects, and
I play around with a few different things. I mean, this one I just wanted to keep it clean and smooth because the wall's not exactly flat. Some imperfections, so I wanted to try to smooth it out, and so this way it kind of brings more attention to actually the letters and just the fluid.
For people who don't know, how long have you been painting?
Since roughly '85. I really didn't start doing anything worth looking at until probably like '91, '92. Where I really started to paint. I mean, before that, it was just mostly like hidden trailers in the back of supermarkets and whatnot out in Long Island, and just little bombing here and there.
And so, like, what aside from rocking crazy ass burners, what other kind of art do you do?
I do a lot of different things. I mean, it's everything from small advertisements to for most of the work is mural painting. From small business to corporate. I've done work for a lot of the beverage corporations over the years. Stuff for Vans. I mean, there's a number of different corporations I've done work for. But I mean, it varies. It's usually depends on what the client's looking for and what we need. What I need to create an attractive advertisement.
What do you like better, characters or lettering?
It's all the same to me. As long as I'm feeling what it is I'm doing, it doesn't matter whether I'm doing a car, a character, a name.
What challenges you more?
I'll tell you, I get almost the same amount of satisfaction out of rocking a nice car, out of painting a car as I do a burner. It's weird.
Okay.
I just like, it's a lot of smooth fades, a lot of lines, pinstripes, things like that. So it kind of like, they're very similar to me in a way. Obviously, the piece is, there's more intricacy in certain aspects of a burner than a car, but they're both just as challenging to some degree. The car's got to look like what the car looks like. The piece is a little more organic, and you kind of develop. You can play around and fake it funk a little bit with it.
Have you had any weird commissions, like any like commission projects that were like just like, fuck, I gotta do this now?
Strange ones? I don't take those anymore. Unless it's a really good strange.
Right. Okay. Let me throw a co-host here. I have Mr. CTF. introduce yourself to everybody. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Hi, this is CTFSEE_TF Instagram. I'm a fan of all you guys. I come in here to fan watch.
It's so sweet. I'm blushing.
Describe your work. I know you're known for your sexy ladies, sexy giant ladies.
Tell us about the ladies.
Big, sexy, giant ladies, yes.
Talk to me about your art for people who might not know your style.
Provocative PG-13 in the street. A little more on canvas. I try, that's my goal. I don't always hit it on the spot, but I try.
Oh, come on. What's the last one that you did? Last project you worked on?
On walls or on canvas?
Walls.
On walls, the last one, a couple of blocks away from here in Bushwick, I was doing a storefront over there. It was, I touched up a painting that I had there from about 2 years ago. And then next to it, I did a black and white Megan Fox with a sepia, with a hint of sepia. And then throughout the summer, I'm gonna end up doing the rest of the block.
Oh, we worked together last summer, on the Mark Anthony, the Latin American theme wall down in Bushwick. That's Bushwick, right?
Yeah.
In the bodega, the side of the bodega. And you did a Mark Anthony that it started off as what? Yeah, tell the story.
It started out, that's why I stick with the girls. It started out with, the whole intentions was to end up as Mark Anthony. In the beginning stages, it looked like Doogie Howser. Then after that, it looked like a young Frank Sinatra. Then,
Nailed it, Frank Sinatra.
then after that,
It was morphing.
then after that, it ended up as Mark Anthony. And then when I was talking to my friend, they were like, "That was a nice painting you did of Part."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Part's a graffiti artist. It looked just like him. Well,
That was a nice.
few
That was
days.
a nice wall. Though. That was an interesting
Well, we
wall.
had a bodega right there. Hef, what's one of the more funner projects that you've done? Something you've enjoyed?
I think some of the real exciting projects were the U.S. Open of Surfing I did for Vans a few years in a row in Huntington Beach, California.
Nice.
And they flew me out there, and I painted. Basically, I started doing containers for them because all the events that they do, they wind up sending shipping containers with promo stuff and things for the events, and they wind up leaving them at the location. They arrive there prior, and they're just blank shipping containers. They're 20 feet long, so I started painting them to look like to do like these shoe boxes, basically murals. Did a lot of aquatic scenes, and they're fun because I would just get there and Steve Van Doren would, "What are you doing today?" "I have no idea." "That's great. I'm sure it's gonna come out fun." And I just have a good time, just paint stuff.
Let's go. How long was the project?
I basically a few days. I get everything done in a couple of days. The last one I painted 3 containers in 3 days, and each one was basically like a fish tank shoebox with a bunch of different things. Did some Powell Peralta logos and stuff, and one of them was sharks. Another one was one with an octopus and a Vans logo out of coral. Another one was just a giant Vans sneaker.
Do you have that stuff on Instagram?
Yeah, it's on IG.
I'm gonna find those pictures. I'm gonna repost those
Yeah,
pictures.
it's funny. It's fun stuff, and it's great. You're on the beach and it's 80 degrees or 75 degrees, nice breeze, and you turn around. There's like 1,000 people watching you in bikinis and whatnot. It's like definitely
cool.
a fun place to be and paint, and everyone's having a good time.
See, what's one of your favorite projects that you've worked on? Aside from Mark Anthony Doogie Howser.
I guess my studio time.
Okay.
My studio time, yeah.
That's what you enjoy?
Yeah.
What
I'm
else?
there by myself, my music, my everything is at arm's reach.
Or what painting stands out for you that you enjoyed the process, that you enjoyed the piece? Is there any one particular one that stands out?
The last one that I just finished a few days ago. The cowgirl.
The very excited cowgirl.
It was a little cold. It was a little cold.
I was thinking,
It was
am
a
I
little
thinking of the
cold.
right picture? Yeah, that's the right picture.
Yeah. That was my I have fun with that one.
Okay.
Because if you look at any of the artwork that I've done, very rarely do I do a background.
Right.
And I've always liked painting skies. Like we did a couple of years back, you and I did the Railroad Museum, and I
Right.
was doing the background with the skies. And then when we did the Mark Anthony wall, I did the sky.
Yeah.
Everything is the sky.
Yeah, you love doing that.
So this one over here is like, a girl with a big hat and very excited. But a nice guy.
Dr. Greedy, you gonna join the circle? What's up?
Let's chew my mango here.
Just quickly, your name, where people can find you, and then pass the mic, whatever you have in your mind.
Greed on Instagram. Excuse me. Greed on Instagram. Dr. Greedy. That's where you can find me. Or graffitigreed.com, but I haven't updated that in a while.
And what's on your mind? Go ahead, pass the mic.
What are we
That's the
talking about? I don't know. I was out here painting in the heat, and you guys are all sitting here under a nice cool tent talking. It's like a VIP lounge here and stuff. What's on my mind? Like, we're here painting this wall. Like, we got tents up, and we have lights at night and ladders and everything. I remember back in the day, we were like climbing up on rooftops, getting all dirty and risking our lives and our clean police record to get art done. But yeah, today we're like doing it across from this outdoor club thing, and they have like food and margaritas, and we got music blasting. It's crazy. It's different.
You got Spanish food in the corner if you want fried Spanish food. Yeah. What more you want?
So I had Caribbean food yesterday, the Spanish food on the corner.
It's a great
Like,
choice,
everything's
actually.
going on. Yeah, yeah,
Good spot.
Yeah, great spot,
Turn-
man.
turn-
Thank
turn-
you, Hef. Thank you for the
Oh,
invite.
you're
Thanks,
very welcome.
Hef.
My
Yeah.
pleasure. I didn't know it was going to be this cool, actually. It just worked out to be a much better place than I ever anticipated.
Listen, you got the loudspeaker, you got the tent. All you need is next time bring a grill.
Yeah.
Take those guys out of business.
I think we're gonna set up a-
Then we
we'll set up
start
a bar
charging
next
over
time.
here.
Where's the hibachi?
Yeah. Yeah, we got the bar. We'll set the bar up next time. We'll bring a tap. Yeah. But we're getting old.
Oh man. Yeah, so this spot is across the street from a place called Nowadays, which is like it's like a beer garden, kind of, sort of, right? It's got like a
Food garden, beer garden, cocktail garden, everything.
A nice event
It's like what Brooklyn's turned into.
yeah. From outside, it doesn't seem like much, but once you go inside, it's pretty fun. It's good crowd.
Surprising.
Yeah, and the
It
food.
doesn't look like it from the outside. You wouldn't
No, not at all.
expect it. You go on the other side of the gate. It's like banana land. Like, what's going on here?
So Carla, would you like to join this circle?
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
So,
What's on your mind?
what's on my mind? I wish this wall was in front of a pool or a beach.
Well, maybe on the next run we'll install one.
Exactly. No, but it's cool. This is a nice location with because at least you have things to eat and stuff like that. Sometimes some walls you have nothing around. And yeah, it's nice. I like it. And it's pretty cool for the artists also. I feel like for you guys it's pretty easy to paint in the wall.
All right, so the wall. The surface is fine. The wall is good. The only thing I'm realizing is what do you guys, and this is a good thing to pass around the mic here. What do you guys enjoy painting more, in the heat or in the cold? What are you more comfortable with?
I think the cold.
Yeah, operate much better in the cold. You can always be warmer, but when the sun's blaring on you and it's hot and humid, and I got to sit here with board shorts on and like a do-rag on my head to protect me from the sun, that's uncomfortable and that can make you pass out, right?
Well, that's why we get the tent over here. That's why we have the tent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I remember like, definitely bombing. If you're just back in the day bombing, that's in the cold.
Yeah.
Because nobody's out and it's easier to bomb, and then and you're just pulling out your can just for like 2 seconds,
Much easier
whatever
to
it is,
conceal.
and you keep going. But if you're rocking a piece and you're changing cans and you're holding the can for a long time and you're filling in and all, like that's when it gets. I messed up my hand one time. Yeah, I messed up my hand one time in the cold, just from the cold. Like I really actually affected it. The heat, the worst thing that happens in the heat is your neck burns. Right now I just got a little bit of a heat freaking exhaustion. I was like, I needed to sit in the cold
My
for
neck
a
is
bit.
scorched.
Yeah. So I don't know. But if you think about it though, like I painted in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, it's freaking hot all year round, pretty much. And you're painting and you don't realize that the heat is beaming down on you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, check out this picture.
What is this?
Also
Back of link.
Here we have some
From the archives.
old school, back in the day pictures. We'll share them online.
Yeah. I thought I gave it
I have
to
to
you.
take a picture of the picture.
6?
Back in 86, 87.
I don't even remember what year I did.
A picture of a piece by C and by who else? And Stress.
Ugly. Describe the picture. I can't even describe the picture. It's a She-Hulk that looks like a dude. Yeah, it looks like a monk painting.
So this is a picture that you did. This is something that you painted a while back.
Yeah, this was back from 1986 in the back of Lane.
Wait, you got a naked girl there.
Yeah, that was my
you?
second. That was my second, and then
So
naked
you were
girl.
starting this back in the day.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
The rise of a rock star.
The first one was a Bow Day one that I did across the street from there, and the rooftop was swing.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I could see your style in there. Totally.
Why? It was cold that day too.
Yeah. No, but you know what? The way that you do your sketching and your cuts and all that, like it's there, it's visible.
You can see the hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying I haven't evolved since '86?
I'm saying you stuck to your guns and you perfected it. You stuck to your guns and you perfected it.
I perfected ugliness. Actually, this piece over here, the background that you see here, the whole beige thing that looks like a floating rock of some sort. When I was I went to New Jersey, and I got off at the Holland Tunnel, and I was going to Hoboken. And right before you make that right, there was a piece on the wall that had something similar to that background, and that's where I got it from.
How long did you take to do this? Was it like a couple of days? Or was
No, this was an illegal piece. This was a couple of hours.
A couple hours? It's crazy. It's amazing. It's amazing how back in the day, like so much that you could do within like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Like when somebody puts a clock on you and says you only got a couple hours, guys, and only a couple of cans.
Yeah.
Like you got red and green, make it work. Red and green don't work. Yeah, but make it work. Make a character. Back in the day, it's
You made
crazy.
it happen.
Yeah, you used to make it happen.
I think that back then we were more focused than we are now. Look at us now. We're here, we're chilling, sitting down.
Several hours went by. We haven't touched the wall.
Hef just got his like ankle rubbed or something. If you look at it, if you think about it now, you know, now it's like we have different paint, different caps, different pressures, different options. You know, we get to pick the walls, we get to resurface the walls. Back then, you didn't have all that.
Bunch of prima donnas over here we are.
The obstacles that you had to pass through, right? First, you had to rack your paint.
So how you
So hang on. No, I'm saying though, racking the paint without getting caught, right? Getting it home without getting your ass kicked by your father or your mother, you know? Getting out of the house because you were punished. Rocking this piece without getting caught, getting beat up, getting robbed, and then getting back in the house without getting caught again and getting another beat down. So, and now, you know, on the way over, you have to stop at Starbucks.
I was actually telling a story about that. We were talking yesterday. We were chatting, and I was saying how when we were teenagers, I had a friend who he was like his own little man. Like we were just teenagers, but he had his own keys to his house, come and go as he pleases. Nobody would question him. He could show up at 5 in the morning or leave at 4 in the morning for an hour and come back at 5:30, go to school the next, in the next half an hour, and so he was perfect for bombing. Like he was made for bombing because his lifestyle allowed him as a teenager to come and go as he wanted. If I wanted to pull that shit, I'd have to be bombing at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. By 12, I had to be home or somebody be questioning me. You know what I mean? Like,
We had to cut school back in the day to go bombing. I remember we would go in school, check in like at 7:30. By 9 o'clock, we were in the train already on our way to like Brooklyn Bridge or City Hall or something, or Shepherd, and then make it back by 1 for lunch because we were hungry. Go to 2 classes and then go home.
can you imagine bombing now, like as a teenager with all these cameras and all this like video everywhere, like
No, right now it's a different time. Bombing as far as what, like the trains?
straight up bombing, like trains, streets, whatever,
Listen,
like highways. Like
me
even highways,
personally, my opinion on that real quick, you got to have a good set of balls to go bombing right now in a train system, because not only do you have to go in and not get caught, they don't know the difference between whether you're there to bomb the system or if you're there to go ahead and put a bomb on a train.
True.
So, the risk factor just went up like 1,000 folds.
I remember back in the day, just cutting out of high school and bombing the Interborough Parkway in the day doing fill-ins of like reps and Ron 1, rest in peace Ron 1. But yeah, just middle of the day, just walking the highway, doing silver and black fill-ins, middle of the day, cars honking us, and we just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine that now. I would be so I'd be like, somebody with a video camera can just boom. The highway's probably completely filled with cameras. Cause
they watch traffic.
Yeah, they watch traffic. Back in the day, you could go with a fucking a roller and bucket paint and start freaking blockbusters across the freaking highway. Nobody would even slow down. Maybe you get somebody to honk a horn, maybe.
Dude, I remember 1 year we were doing a rooftop in East New York, right off of Crescent Station, me and Faith. We were doing a rooftop, right? We climbed up the side of a Martin Paints 3 stories up through a pipe. Once we get to the top, now we're trying to do it. It was pitch black, and the only time that we will be able to actually see the light is when the train would come. So the train would come, and we would start doing our sketch, and then the train would leave, and we would fill in. And the way that we knew whether it was getting painted or what the blends were coming in and going out at, if you look at an angle and you saw the wetness on the wall.
I hate that.
And then come the next day, you're looking at it like, oh man, what was I thinking about? That was pink.
That's the worst.
It's like guessing paint. That's
the worst. Like, you ever do that where you go for a color and you thought it was, for example, like a brown.
Well, let me
you
ask
thought
you
it was
something.
blue and it ends up being a brown, and you're like, what the fuck?
I got a question for you. Have you ever painted at nighttime?
Yeah, painting at night sucks.
Back in those days, before the cans had the colors on top, how did you know the difference between the colors?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always had to write the colors in the bottom of the can before you went out.
Yeah. Yeah. You would have to fill it in yourself. Fill it in yourself, or have enough overspray all over it, paint dripping on it, that you could kind of make it out. But like, who carried back then? You didn't have a cell phone. How would you had a flashlight?
No.
Did you really think back in the day to carry a flashlight? Nobody bothered. Like,
but
a lighter. My boys would have a lighter. Hold on, wait up. He's flicking on your lighter. Wait. Okay, yeah, that's the right color.
What we would do is we would, like, if we did anything on the trains, we would mainly go with Silvers, and they were one brand. And then the other brands were the different, like, like the blues would be the Krylons, the Red Devils would be the Outline, and that's the only way we would know the difference. Thank you.
Let's keep painting. Let's keep rocking. Let's stop complaining. A bunch of old men sitting around complaining about the heat, about how good it is, but then how bad it is, but then how good it is, but then how bad it is. Now, sometimes I really do feel old. Like, sometimes I'm on that ladder and I'm like, God damn it, man. How many more years do I got of this? Dude, I'll be climbing this ladder just a few steps up and down for a couple of hours, and the next day, it's about a day and a half that I feel it. Like, I just feel it in my back. I feel it in my shoulders.
I never understood how I would go up and down a 25-foot ladder for 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
And I'll wake up in the morning still fat. Think about this though, right?
You got me thinking about it.
Listen to me. The average gym buff would go to the gym and do cardio for maybe what? Half hour, 45 minutes on the Stairmaster? I do it for 8 hours and I'm a fat bastard. What's up?
Should we turn this into a health talk? There's lots of reasons.
Yeah, I think we're sliding into a health talk over here.
How is it? My cholesterol may be high, but my glutes are tight, bro.
Who is like the oldest rider that we can think of right now, still currently active?
You mean roller? No, joking.
No, I mean, is there somebody that you've seen like still out there, like still doing it?
No, not really painting now, but
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if you see those guys on ladders, if you see those guys still doing stuff like that. Are they still like going big and doing big things? Or are they just doing appearances, doing like a little piece and like... Who?
He's doing it still. I think he's still doing it. I think he's in
T-Kid?
Paris. Yeah.
Baby.
He's still, I mean...
Maybe still writes every now and then.
Yeah, but we're talking about active, like, on a regular. I mean, he's still doing it, but...
he seems like he's in decent shape, right?
Yeah.
That's tough. I think that's another thing we gotta look at now, right? It's like longevity. If you want to keep doing this.
Yeah. Part, T-Kid.
Who?
Art, T-Kid, Pink.
Re.
That's another thing. Like this is a physical. This is like a physical sport.
Yeah.
It's a physical piece of art.
You're doing squats, you're doing extensions, you're climbing up and down ladders, even if it's just a short step ladder. It's a lot. It's physical. It's like 6 to 8 hours of physical, calisthenics.
And that's not even including the setup and the
while
breakdown.
you're inhaling spray paint.
So let's get back to working out, and we'll continue later. While we're drinking, we'll think of new things to talk about.
And exhale. Thanks.
All right, so now that we got a little shade back on the wall, I can go back and paint. Everybody's gonna go back to painting, but I'll leave you guys with the microphones. If you guys want to do a little chat, maybe you can interview the lady over here, and you guys can have a little conversation. Maybe
Yes,
talk
yes.
about a little bit about the behind the scenes and the lifestyle a little bit. Since
Let's
you
do
guys have
it.
been doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Good idea.
Carla, you've been to a couple of walls now.
Yeah, a couple.
You can
Even
talk about Art Basel,
graffiti tours.
in Puerto Rico, in Art Basel.
Okay, so tell us your name and if you have any social media, where can we find you?
Okay. Well, I go by Virginia and I go by Ginny.
Okay.
So, GinFizz9 is my Instagram.
Okay, nice.
I do photography,
Okay. What kind of photography?
everything pretty much. I used to do a lot with musicians and I do their promo shots and do
Yeah.
a lot of shows. I shoot children,
Uh-huh.
babies kind of.
Uh-huh.
Not like studio, just kind of like candid work.
Okay, okay.
I shoot events, everything.
Yeah.
But I love landscapes and I love doing macro photography.
And how did you got into photography when you started?
Probably, let's see. This is gonna show my age. I would say 80. Since before I was 10 years old. I mean,
Oh,
I
nice.
always had a camera in my hand, and I started to really pursue it when I was in high school.
Okay.
When there was film and darkrooms, and I had to develop film and print
Yeah.
myself. And then I went away to college for that at RIT in Rochester, gave it up, and then went into audio video production. Worked on films, worked on commercials.
Yeah.
In the bottom line, like production assistants, and then I went into the music industry. gave all of the photo stuff up for a while, but then I realized that I need to go back to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where I
that's
feel like
uh-huh.
100% in my feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now that you help HEF, right, with the photos and videos of graffiti, what do you see that is the difference of how do you see photographing graffiti versus doing the candid or musicians? How do you think they relate or not? Or
It's just like I learned something with every type of artist or kind of sport that I photograph,
yeah,
that I see a photograph and I see the composition the way I was trained and the way I know it. And
yeah,
then
yeah,
the artists themselves will look at it and say, well, that's kind of like other skateboarders or other artists are going to look at that and you want to see the whole thing, or you want to see this, or you want to see that. But as photographers, you see differently. So it's finding a balance between the two.
yeah,
Like, so with Jamie Hef,
uh-huh,
I'm learning about. Well, I already learned.
yeah,
Get his shot, get the shots that the graffiti guys and the artists like to see.
Yeah.
Their artwork.
yeah.
And then get the shots that I want as a photographer.
Okay. So yeah, so combine both because
Yeah.
it's not easy
Can't make everybody
to.
happy.
Exactly. Yeah. So how long have you been like doing this graffiti life?
Well, Jamie and I, we were dating in
Yeah.
2010.
Okay.
And that's when I was first, I guess, around it a lot.
Yeah.
And then we split up for about 7 years.
Okay.
Got back together last year.
Okay.
And I'm just submerged in it.
Exactly.
It's like my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I find myself stealing spray paint from in the basement. And I want to spray things. I want to paint everything. But I'm lucky if I could spray paint like a flower.
Yeah. I mean, but how do you like it? I feel like it's kind of tough. Like For me, we got married in 2014. So basically, graffiti life like that started 2014. So it has been like 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it's cool. We go to travel and we go paint traveling. And usually when we travel, it's just because Chris is going to paint. So those are the kind of trips that we do. And sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, but we don't do it as often as I think you guys do. Like how you do it.
I haven't traveled with him yet
Uh-huh.
since we've been together. I mean, he's done traveling.
Yeah.
I used to travel a lot with like a tattoo in the tattoo world. I was in
Oh,
for a
okay.
little while, so that was fun. I was traveling with that, so that's also another different way of photographing.
Yeah.
But with Jamie, he does jobs and he does his recreational painting. So
Right.
the jobs, I'm always with him on that. I kind of like take care of all the production stuff and keep him organized.
Yeah.
And sometimes we find ourselves sleeping in the car because
Oh my
the hours
God.
are crazy.
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
when businesses close, you gotta wait till they close to do the work.
Yeah.
So we'll be working from, let's say, 8 at night until 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
But then there'll be another job the next day where you have to go in at like 6 a.m. So we need a bigger boat. We need a bigger
Right. Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
One that has a bed in it.
Definitely.
But I
Oh
like
my
I like
God.
that lifestyle. I
Yeah?
like being on the go all the time.
I mean, I guess it's also like very independent in a way because it's you
Oh yeah.
planning your life, planning your
Exactly.
schedule.
I
If
did
there's
the 9 to
nobody.
5, commuting, working in Manhattan, working for Sony Music for years, and under fluorescent lights, and I'm like, this is just not what.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard though because you have to be really disciplined with yourself with money because it's not like you have a steady paycheck every week. So You
Exactly.
get money, and it's like, okay, you have to budget that out, and that's the hard thing
Right.
because you don't know sometimes when the next job is going to come.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's scary, but
Yeah.
exciting.
Where are you originally from?
Long Island.
Long Island?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long Island, born and raised.
So now where are you located?
Now I'm in East Rockaway.
Okay.
Yeah, restoring 100-year-old house. It was my great grandparents' house. It's been in my family for 100 years.
Okay.
It was hit by Hurricane Sandy, and so it's been vacant for a while. My brother was, taking care of it and blah blah blah. So now we're taking it over, and
Oh, nice.
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
There's like you can still see some of the lines from the water, from Sandy when it hit.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So we have to replace all the plaster. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Let me see. What else? What else do you enjoy doing on your free time? And
Beach.
yeah.
The beach.
Yeah.
That's my life. Going out to dinner. I
Yeah.
haven't done that in a while. Going
Yeah.
out, hanging
I
out
like
with
that
my
too.
Friends. But my friends are all, most of them moved to California,
Oh, okay.
or they're married and have kids,
Yeah.
and so we don't have kids.
It's a different. Yeah.
It's different. Like they all have children, so we can't really.
Yeah, it's different
established
style.
in that world. Yeah.
Have you been to California?
3
Yeah?
times. San Diego. I did camping trip. It was a all-girl camping trip. I'll never forget. We went, landed in San Francisco. For 8 days, we went to 7 different campsites. We traveled all down the coast of California.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I've never been to California. I want to go.
Yeah, I wanted to move there, but it's hard when you're born and raised in New York and all your family's here.
Yeah.
And then you leave, and it's like the
Yeah.
people are different in California.
Uh-huh.
I don't
Yeah, it's complicated. It's a different lifestyle.
know, different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more,
Weather's
I think that here, well, you guys have a car, but we don't. So we rely on trains and buses. I don't think that in California is that good. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different lifestyle all around.
I know.
So let me see, what else can I ask you? And we were talking before you started working with videos and videography. What do you enjoy more, videos or photography?
Still photography. I used to really love video. I actually wanted to do music videos back in like 2000, but I didn't. And
Yeah.
It's hard now that there's digital cameras. It's so much easier. The DSLR, which my camera has both. that I can shoot video. And it's just a quicker edit because it's digital. But I hate editing. If I had an editor I had a friend that loves editing, it'd be great, because then I usually be like, here, I shot it, do it.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I don't know. I guess I like them both, but still photography is more my thing. I feel like it's less invasive, and you don't have to get. I don't like to get in people's faces and at events and things like that. I like to stand back, feel them out, and if I do want to photograph them, I want to make them feel comfortable with me, because I don't like to get in people's faces without. I'll ask them, if they would mind first, instead of just going right in, like videoing them and shooting them and then posting them online. And I don't do that. I always ask first. Or if there's jobs that I have to photograph people, like do their portraits, I won't post anything online unless they approve of that image. Like if they don't like themselves, like. Especially musicians, they're the prima donnas. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so gross. I look fat. I'm like, the men, I'm like, you look great. You look great.
Oh my God.
I love that photo of you. I want that in my portfolio. I love it. And they're like, I hate it. I hate myself. I hate the way I look. Like, everybody sees themselves differently.
Yeah.
Than others. So it sucks, but I won't post anything and or show it unless if my subject is like, no, I hate the way I look in that, I look fat, or my nose looks too big, or sucks for me. But
I mean, but people are so complicated. They see themselves in a whole different way than what you are seeing them with the camera.
Exactly.
Right, it's
but I don't see it
exactly,
and that's frustrating. You look beautiful. I think you look gorgeous. You look great. It's like, nope, hate it. I'm like, all right, I'll delete it if you want. And I'll do that. So.
Oh my God. Well, this was nice. Thank you. And I hope we hang out again. Hopefully we paint again.
Definitely.
Here in Brooklyn. Yes, it's an awesome location. The surface is awesome, and I feel like it's pretty comfortable for the artists, at least for if they want to just do a piece or something like that. It's pretty cool.
And I love everyone that's painting with him right now.
Yeah.
Just good people, good vibes, and
Yeah.
love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You wanted me to teach you, right? Street reality.
All right, well, it was a long day. It was a long weekend.
Yeah, super long.
Exhausting. 2 days of painting.
Yeah.
But I think it was worth it. As always, like at the end, I feel so beat up and so tired, but I already begin to think about like when's the next time I'm gonna paint. What can I do the next time? How could I do it better the next time? And that's always a good feeling.
Yeah, and the wall came out great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So on the wall, I did a Wizards theme because. So basically, this wall came together because Greed had contacted me. He had wanted to paint, and he was like, "Yo, when are we gonna paint? Are you gonna come down to DC, or am I gonna go up to New York? We gotta paint soon." And I was like, "Well, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what would be the next time to paint." And it just so happened that like within the next 2 days, like HEF reached out to him and then was like, "Hey, I got a wall if you want to get down with it." And it was a great coincidence. So Greed invited me to go. And I was a little bit lazy, but I'm glad we did it. And
yeah, it was really good.
So in the process, Greed basically he was, suggesting like some Space Girl theme, and though I started sketching it and I started thinking of some good ideas for Space Girls, like some Space Girl characters and like a space theme. We saw that online somebody had recently just done a Space Girl theme, and we were like, well, let's do something else just to keep it fresh. So maybe we'll do that later. But I figured then at that time I was like, so why don't we do like some sort of like wizard theme? Because Greed, he usually writes Greed, that's his tag. Mm-hmm. But he wanted to do this time, he wanted to write Toukind, because that's his like alter ego, his alias is Toukind, which is hilarious because it's a balance from the word greed. And so when he told me he wanted to write Toukind, I was like, well, if you want to put Toukind on this wall, maybe we got to do some like hippie stuff, like some like wizards or like mushrooms and like magical stuff, and like some peace, love type of stuff. So I started looking online for images of Cheech Wizard, because I know that wizards and Cheech Wizard is a big popular thing in graffiti, and it's always been something in the back of my mind. You know, when I first got into graffiti, the Cheech Wizard character was a real popular character. So I figured I would try to make my own version of a wizard and a lizard and a fairy and that kind of thing. And it just kind of came together. I started sketching it. I sent him some pictures of that. And as we were texting back and forth, coming up on the date, it kind of came together. We're like, yeah, this would make sense. It would be cool. And I think it came out great. Yeah, it came out great on the wall.
The characters have a lot of personality. The graffiti pieces are full of color.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the piece that I did on this wall, it's not unusual for me to use a lot of color. So that was kind of normal.
Yeah.
What was different is that when I usually paint with greed, I usually do more like wild style, like more like letters that are more with movement and thinner and
that blocky.
Not that blocky. And because I know that greed, his style is usually more bold and blocky.
Yeah.
But this time we kind of switched places. His Two Kind piece had like a lot of movement in it, and it was, you know, a lot of connections and a lot of motion in the letters. The letters kind of like squirming around and with long extensions. And then I did mine more blocky and straight, more like a bolder kind of font.
And you also use a little bit of grid style.
Yeah.
Because you put the stars on the letters. You usually don't put like stars on letters or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't usually put like stars or decorations or like he usually does his bubbles. That's his theme.
Exactly.
So we kind of switched places on that. I figured if he wasn't gonna do that, then I'll take that and I'll use that inspiration.
Well, one of my favorite parts of this wall was the Puerto Rican restaurant in the corner. There was a Puerto Rican, like, it was like Puerto Rican, but I think they were Dominican. Restaurant with food. They had alcapurrias and bacalaitos and everything.
Oh my god.
And I ate an alcapurria. Oh my god, it was so good. I don't know if it was that I was hungry.
I think you were just hungry because it wasn't that good. But
it was.
No, it was good. It tasted good. It's just too oily.
Yeah.
That food is so oily.
And it was so hot today that
to be eating that in the heat is tough.
Yeah.
I don't get how people can eat fried food like that in tropical islands, but no, but so the wall came out really good. I was really happy. I mean, we painted until the last minute. Luckily, there was enough light, and even HEF pulled out some spotlights at the end to help out. We finished
until 10:30 or something. No, maybe like 11.
Yeah, it's late.
Because right now, what time is it?
Yeah. So I mean, that you know, it was a blessing that we had lights and all that we can keep going into the late hours.
Yeah.
Or else it would have been a mess.
Yeah.
I would have had to come back another weekend to finish it up.
Yeah.
So we were lucky with that. But it came out good. I think the colors, I was lucky with the amount of color that I got, that I brought. I brought enough paint and enough variety of colors to make it work. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have the right colors to make it colorful enough, but that came off well. And now this wizard character and these characters that I invented, now I want to keep sketching them. I want to make like a story or something. Like now I'm inspired by like I want to do like a whole like graffiti kingdom kind of thing with like wizards and fairies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that will be interesting.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. So I'm gonna explore that in my black books and keep those ideas going. But I mean, it was also nice that C came by. You know, we got to talk to C, TF, and that we all got to sit down and actually record a little bit and talk a little bit. I think that was cool. I haven't seen C in a while. He looks good. He looks healthy. He's looking good. I guess, you know, just making new friends. You know, this is the first time that I get to paint with HEF. It was a real pleasure painting with him and getting to know him.
And meeting Virginia also.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it was a great time.
And I mean, HEF is somebody that we've run in the same circles, and I've always seen his work and heard of him a lot. And I've heard people have told me like, yo, you should meet HEF. You should meet HEF. Like, you guys would probably click. Like, I guess people saw that we had similar styles and maybe even similar personalities as artists, because they were like, they always told me like, you should meet HEF. You should meet HEF. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I finally did. It was a good opportunity and it worked out really well. I guess this is a nice memory for this summer.
Yeah.
You know. All right, guys. So this does wrap up another episode. Next episode is gonna be episode 36. It's gonna be for Colombian independence.
Yes, Colombia.
Colombian independence is coming up,
Yeah.
and we have an episode for that where I will be talking about Colombian artists.
And I'm gonna be talking about Shakira.
Shakira.
My favorite singer since I was little.
Aw, I didn't know that she was your favorite singer. That's nice.
Well, one of my favorites.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, no, we're gonna talk about Shakira's her career and some of
Her evolution and what is she doing now?
Yeah. All right, so that'll be the next episode, episode 36. And as always, we're gonna be
Hablando español.
Oh yeah.
And I might sing.
What? Are you? Maybe.